Hello, hi, welcome, and thank you for being here today. I hope you're having a gorgeous day or night. We're gonna dive on in and get a little clarity and see what's going on with the energy today and what would be the most helpful for you. This is a timeless reading. Whenever it finds you, it's perfect. See what resonates and always follow and trust that divine inner guidance that is in you. And really trust that direct, deep, divine connection that you have to your higher self, to God, to source, to the universe. The answer's in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition. So your decisions are sound, they're based in love and for the highest, greatest good of everybody. So we're all uplifted in love. You already have cards jumping out. Let's see what God, source, Holy Spirit, Christ, consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for, hey, the highest and greatest good of all. It looks like your opening message that wanted to come out even before the intro was done is the peacock. So your animal whisper guidance right now is to strut your stuff. Really get out there. Don't be afraid to sparkle a little bit. Put on your fun hat. Put on your fancy boots. Maybe you're getting dressed up, or maybe you're just rocking, I actually see like a tracksuit. Like maybe you're just, rocking those stretchy pants at the gym. Whatever it is, it's telling you right now, it's time to strut your stuff, show your true colors, whatever your style is. I also feel like with this peacock, there's something about the way you're communicating, because the peacock always connects me to Archangel Gabriel, which connects me to the Word of God. So maybe you're even, it's like an inner glow that I see. I also see something about your aura expanding and you really being attractive right now. So I feel like you're not just attracting love here. I feel like you're attracting opportunities, new friends. It's almost like your energy is even putting a smile on the faces of strangers, people that you pass by, I see somebody like in line, that you're in line at the store with. It's, even if you don't have a conversation, there's just something maybe about your smile that feels really uplifting. But I do feel like some of you almost have like an extra spotlight on you right now. So maybe there is a special circumstance or person or experience where you, I just heard you were meant to be noticed. There's something where you're standing out a little different. You're turning heads here. So let's see what's going on. I see a couch right now. So it's interesting. Maybe some of you are even, I wanted to say at first, like, time to get off the couch and get out there and mix and mingle. But I am getting the message for some of you that if you are maybe doing something online on your phone, you have a platform or something like that, maybe it's still being noticed with the right group or the right audience, but there's something about your truth. It's not like a false media, or the false perception of what your life is. It's not that. There's something about the raw and real you that's actually really attracting to a lot of people. I also feel like this peacock's head here, it's just kind of goofy. So I am getting kind of a goofy energy. Maybe some of you are, I hear spontaneous, maybe doing something spontaneous, or maybe some of you get like a candid something where it's a spontaneous situation, but it's kind of funny, or it's random, or it's goofy. I feel like it's relaxed and definitely not forced, whatever that is. So let's see. What do we do now? Let's go to life. Yeah, let's do a big one. Let's get a clarifying life situations and dive a little deeper to the energy of the peacock, strutting your stuff. Also, there's something about somebody's, I was the gate. Not like I'm comparing you to like the gate. Like I always think of like a certain breed of dog's gait, but I don't know if you call that with humans, like the way you walk. There's something either about the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, or maybe that is what you notice about a certain person. Whether it's kind of a little, you know, like a little, I don't know why want to say meandering or a moseying along. You know, I'm thinking of like a cowboy, cowgirl, or maybe somebody like, I'm thinking like briskly walks, like how you see people in the city and they got a place to go, you know, something they have to do. But I'm definitely getting that there's a confidence about it, but also it's a personal form of expression. Maybe there's even something about the shoes. I saw the boots before. Maybe there's something that changes depending on the shoes that you wear. Maybe some of you are getting new shoes. I just heard your big break because I thought of shoes and breaking shoes in, but the message I got was your big break, or maybe that's how you're going to feel. Maybe you're the one who's, I don't know why I want to say in charge of something, or a boss, something like that. Maybe you're the one that offers somebody their big break, the big breakthrough, or I just heard the chance of a lifetime. Wow. I'm not sure what's happening here, but let's continue on. I'm definitely getting big energy, big messages. What is a clarifying life situation? Overall message to be helpful today, please and thank you. One message. That one. Kind of slipped on out. Let's see. So the power of persistence. So maybe you have to knock on a door again, call somebody back if you were put on hold. Stay persistent in the face of challenges. Keep working towards your goals despite setbacks. Persistence leads to accomplishment and resilience. There's something about even if you fall, even the colors on that are the same. There's maybe green chakra, maybe like your heart chakra opening up, or the light coming in. There's something about if you fall down, you get back up again. You dust yourself off and you do it again. Or if it wasn't working the way you were doing something, you do it again, but different. I hear switch. I thought of a light switch, light coming on, but then I thought of the big switch up. So maybe you have to switch something up a little bit. Maybe something's going to come in and kind of turn the light of illumination on in your life and you feel like everything's about to change. I am seeing your center. Find your center, maybe get grounded. I also feel like I hear respond. I feel like if somebody needs you to respond right away, there's something about you very calmly, maybe even saying, I need some time, I will respond in ... You know, like if you need a little time to respond, I feel like you're gonna actually get a lot of respect by still responding. You know, you still, if somebody's being persistent and they want an answer, but you need some time, there's something about you needing to speak up, express, you need a little time. But I feel like somebody, if they want to work with you, if they want to date you, if they're offering you an opportunity, I feel like they are going to be flexible with you. They're also going to offer you the space that you need to make a solid decision, but don't sit on the couch too long. I hope that made sense. It could be something you need to sleep on, but also with the peacock and Archangel Gabriel, I always think of 3 days, just because the Annunciation took 3 days. So maybe there's something about 3 days. Whew. All right, let's see. I'm going to do this. I'm not even going to shuffle. I just have this mystery deck kind of in here. So I'm just going to randomly pull something. We're this side from the mystery deck to give you a bonus message. Oh, wow. I did see like your big break or a big chance. So maybe you're gonna discover that treasure, that opening, something that was maybe closed off. at the end of the rainbow, at the end of a stormy situation. This is something that's valuable to you. I also feel like you are valuable to someone else in whatever capacity that is, whether it's you working with someone or a skill that you have or your presence in their life. Ask more questions. If you don't know, I like that. I feel like somebody's going to be asking you a lot of questions, but maybe it's about the questions that you ask. I also feel like some of you are going to change your, I don't know why I see quotations, but maybe you have certain questions that you thought you would ask, but maybe in the midst of a conversation, your questions actually change. If you're a little nervous, or if you're a little hesitant about something, I did see someone kind of not knowing how to respond, maybe feeling a little pushed, then maybe it's about the right question that you ask that really gives you the information, the insight, or the clarity that you need to make a more solid answer. If some of you are confused, ask more questions. Also, pay attention with how somebody responds to your question. Really hear that response. Wait till they are done speaking and then kind of pause. I'm getting like, don't rush into something. Like, really think about something. Like, maybe it's how you form your question and not the actual question, how it's presented, the tone in which you present something. Also, if you are trying to gain some clarity by a certain person and they're constantly responding by just not giving you an answer, but asking you questions, almost to like throw that ball back around, but ignore what you were asking in the first place. Maybe just pay attention to that. Maybe you can't change, getting a real response from them, but that might actually say all it needs to say. What did I grab? Let's get your soul's journey. Let's get a lesson right now that you are learning about or going through. What is a current lesson that the collective is learning? Well, that's a good lesson. You're learning about abundance. You're learning that you can have more than what you were thinking about when you had the lid on that box, when you had something kind of contained and tiny. There's something where you get to bust open that lid. You get to expand, through the universe's of possibilities, where there's a way you can have everything that you were thinking about, but I feel like you're going to have dreams that expand different than your initial plan or your initial goal. Abundance is beautiful. This is also where some of you have to say thank you, open up your arms, give something a try. I'm getting that nervous. Even if you're a little nervous about something, there's something you might be offered and you can do it. Or there's even maybe a person coming in your life and they're going to keep you questioning in a really good way. I'm getting a little mystery energy where it's like an unfolding deeper and deeper the more you get to know somebody, but the more you get to know somebody, the more interesting it gets and the more questions you get to ask, and it doesn't get to the end result where it's just bland and plateaued. It feels like it's a spiritually endlessly ever-flowing lotus is actually what I see. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in the physical reality. So you're working on manifestation. Manifestation is kind of a conundrum. It's putting your true, authentic vibration, especially when that vibration is positive, when it's enthusiastic, when it's authentic, when it's, heading towards love and excitement. Because even when you talk about that thing, you get others excited. So it gets out there in the universe and starts to manifest, sometimes behind closed doors, things to come about in your reality, even if it's not right away. But there's also that persistence. You have to put effort into something and you have to also forget about it and completely allow it at the same time. It's like a big old conundrum. So do pay attention to your inner reality, your internal thoughts and dialogue, and what you ask yourself. And if you fall down, transmute that into a growing, I hear a growing pain or a growing opportunity. It's like, I feel like it's almost rewiring your brain. So if you were constantly maybe going in circles or thinking about something a different way, it's almost like I see parts of your brain illuminating differently. And like, I actually see like new neural pathways like coming together. So that starts with huge self-awareness, changing old patterns, old cycles. And I feel like I see those lights, and it's like something lit a fire under your ass is kind of what I see, to really get you moving in a different direction. Maybe there's a little passion coming through. It's kind of lighting a fire in your life, but a good fire. It's like a spiritual fire. So let's go to, I brought a different tarot deck, but when I pulled this out, I keep staring at this tarot of the Black Rose. So let's do this one. I like that there's a lot of different symbols in it. It's kind of unusual. So let's get a couple of tarot messages that would be helpful on this path to abundance, power of persistence, strutting your stuff, asking the right questions, and not just one treasure that you are finding, but many to come. I see like this treasure chest, but I don't see anything like objects in it, like commercial things. I actually see these balls, almost like this, if you could make that glowing and moving. I see like balls of spiritual light that keep growing. And I feel like that box is still there. I don't feel like the box is growing, but I feel like these balls of light are coming out of the box. And I actually see them like bouncing around the world. I don't know why I see that. Or maybe connecting to others, because I see people like holding out their hands and looking at this ball of light like, wow. Like they can see that maybe some inspiration you offered, or I don't know, it's like some kind of energy you're passing along, but I feel like that helps lead others towards their own treasure. I hope that made sense to some of you. I like when I get the kind of ethereal, interesting visions. But I always feel like when those visions come through, they're elusive enough to kind of take that energy note and you personalize it with whatever kind of glows inside of you that is about. So let's get a couple of messages from the tarot. What would be helpful to know on persistence, abundance, peacock, strutting your stuff, treasure, and asking more questions? Is this one King of Wands? I don't know if that was the wrong way or if that flipped, but either way, I'm looking at it. So King of Wands, you are maybe preparing for the future, or you're connecting to someone who likes to be prepared, but yet likes to be spontaneous. This is definitely somebody who wants abundance in their life. This is somebody who is not afraid to strut their stuff in that masculine persistence, pursuing kind of energy. So could be somebody you're connecting to. He looks like a lumberjack. There's also something about the bearded dragon. Maybe you have like a lizard. I don't know if you have a pet squirrel, but there is a squirrel here. There's definitely something about the lantern illuminating something. I did see fire under somebody's ass. There's a lot of fire in this card. This is definitely somebody who would inspire somebody to get off the couch, inspire somebody to go and do something new they've never tried before or didn't have the confidence to even begin. This is a very strong king. It's also a very sexy king. It's also somebody that's really confident in whatever it is he or she is like really into. You know, they're usually into something. Sometimes this is a king that gets into something and they learn everything about it. They experience everything they can, and then they get a new interest. And it's not like they lose interest in that last thing, but they constantly make that spiritual fire grow bigger and bigger, or expand how many things they get to experience in their life. We'll look at it briefly upside down. If it's upside down, that's someone pompous, full of themselves, overpowering, talking about what a daredevil they are, but never actually doing half of what they say they are going to do or have done. You know, it's definitely somebody that likes to, I don't know, upside down, it's kind of a weird energy. Upside down, it's someone that toots their horn really loud. I just saw somebody with a really fancy car, but it's not their car. You know, I mean, I guess upside down it'd be somebody that's like, yes, I have my Ferrari, I'll pick you up on the date, but then they borrowed it or they rented it. If that was a king that's upright, they're like, yo, you're amazing. I don't really own a Ferrari, but I'm gonna rent one and I'm gonna pick you up. It's somebody who has enough confidence that they can still be humble and honest with what they have and yet still have that expansive energy. I hope that made sense. So let's clarify. Also, it could be somebody that has fiery, you know, signs in their chart: Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. It's somebody that has a big aura, a big energy. Even if they're really quiet, they don't have to be the loudest one in the room to shine the brightest. Clarify why the king is here. Judgment. Wow. Wow. 10 of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Well, somebody has heard that inner calling inside of their soul. Somebody is seeing through the eyes of their heart, wanting to expand their wings of freedom or experiences in their life. I mean, you definitely have something that's coming through. If that treasure chest was closed or you weren't getting the answer to the questions that you were thinking, this is first having that inner answer, that inner calling, that calling from the divine that something has to change, that something is meant to be a switcher up, like a switcher up, switch something up. It was weird how it came out in his or her life. This is where you look at the beautiful treasures and seeds of effort and love and experiences that you have already gifted your own life and gifted to the world, like those beautiful balls of loving spiritual light, and they will come back through the universe, come back and really come to bring you blessings. It's also recognizing that if some of those balls of light that you put out there were a little dull or weird, or you were throwing a little shade either at yourself or anywhere else, it's pure recognition that that vibe was kind of odd. I shouldn't have said that thing about that person, even if it was in your own head. Or I shouldn't be talking negatively about myself from that failure when I've had so many blessings come in, or I've had so much growth happen. So it's that inner awareness that you don't repeat a pattern the same way if it wasn't working for you. If you're going through this Wheel of Fortune here and it's never bringing you towards your joy or towards your happiness or towards a loving environment or towards people you really love to be around, that energy of just happily ever after, and then you get another day, then you need to be the one to switch up that wheel. This wheel is always going to turn. It's always going to bring you to a new chapter in that book. But how you narrate it, the personal choices you make, the free will movements that you make are all up to you. You know, sometimes you're at the bottom of the wheel and you feel a little stuck. And sometimes you're at the top of your game and you see every facet of your overall situation or your overall journey in a different way. It does look like you got a 10-10 here. So maybe a little ending and a big ending. But whatever is ending is taking you towards your 10 of Cups. It's taking you towards I heard a beautiful moment that switches everything up. So maybe there's one experience, or I just heard like enchanted meeting. It was really weird. Maybe it feels like it's not even real. It's enchanting. It's like a storybook. Is this really happening? Is this real life? Yes. There's also something where it's being gifted to you, because you can take that energy of it's too good to be true and plant it on earth and really ground something, grow something, and take it out of where it's like, look at that. It's like, it's a drawing. It's kind of like a blueprint of these moments you wish you could have. You're taking it out of that ether possibility kind of energy, and you're going to solidify something. Also, it looks like you found your treasure at the end of the rainbow. And that rainbow only comes sometimes after a storm, but it comes after the mist, or after the soul cleanse, or a cleanse in your life where, you know, if something was constantly getting stuck, it's you having the confidence here, or maybe somebody inspiring you with their own confidence, or believing in you that you can handle something, that spiritual WD-40 can get your wheels spinning again. You have good luck coming through. You have to really be open that abundance is meant for you, and really open your heart here to be in that energy of joy and gratitude that something beautiful was meant for you. And it all started with you seeing through that heart space, you looking at the reality of your human side, but taking the higher perspective of divine energy here. There's something about you having these beautiful wings here, and it's time to really like open your wings and fly. But I heard go all in. What does this clock say? It looks like the clock says 10:10. Interesting, because I saw 10:10. Can you see that little clock? Maybe 10:10 is an important time. 10:10:20. So let's end with one. If I have it, do I have it? Oh, I don't know if I have the universe cards. So let's end with something different. Whew, what is something with a message for you guys? I don't know. Guess what I found? Messages from the universe. So one final message from the universe. What is the final message for today's reading that would be helpful? Please and thank you. Final message. You've got two. All right, let's see. What are your two final messages? Prioritize, oh, I like that, self-healing right now. Put your needs above the needs of everybody else, trying to help everyone else, always being there for everyone else. All of that is beautiful, but if there's something inside of you that needs to heal, it's like that energy where the bag comes down from the airplane. You really want to help the people that are sitting next to you, but if you can't breathe, you're not going to be of much help. So there's definitely something where you have to put some energy into you. Recognize how beautiful and how important you are. Don't put your needs on the back burner because everybody else wants something from you. Or you have that beautiful desire to always help. You have to bring some of that energy back to you to nourish your own soul. Put your needs above others for once. It's time to focus on you. Self-healing takes time and a lot of self-love. Remember, open wounds don't heal into scars overnight. Scars to your beautiful. I think that's the only song that came through. Take the time you need in order to feel happier and healthier within yourself, because there's no rush. I did see somebody saying, hey, I know you need my help, but you know, I need to think about this, or maybe I need a couple days. I did see 3 days. You are safe. You are protected. The worst is behind you. And you're ready to move beyond the challenges that were set for you. You did a good job. It's like you passed the exam, you know? You finished that chapter. It's time to close that book and get ready for a brand new chapter to come. And the challenges that were set for you, lessons have been learned. That's absolutely this. This is where before you could have been going through a cycle, you didn't even know you were going through a lesson. And here you're like, I get it now. I get it now. I was a factor in that. Or it wasn't blaming everything outside there for your wheel constantly getting stuck. You had the spiritual WD-40 right on the shelf to get something moving the whole time, but you had to walk to the shelf. It's knowing that you're also releasing that judgment on others. I saw something with, that everyone's human, everybody messes up. Some people learn their lessons faster than others. Some people never learn their lesson at all. This is about you learning your own lesson, and that being where the healing is coming in. That's where you decide to do something differently, to head towards what makes your heart sing and your soul know it's in its authenticity. It is safe for you to trust your path, even if that path is behind a closed door. It looks like your path. You at least are getting the map. You're at least getting the spiritual road sign to get to the next crossroads, where maybe X sparks the spot. Maybe you gotta dig deep to get to that treasure. But maybe it's unfolding, and once you get underneath the surface of something, you see the deep roots, or maybe it's even the patience to wait for something to grow naturally. Just knowing in gratitude that this treasure is exactly the step that you are on, exactly the page you are in, and exactly the being, the beautiful, gorgeous, special soul that you are. I love you so much. I hope this reading was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. I gotta skedaddle, but I do want to thank you for blessing my life. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.